leave corruption, poverty, or any of the issues that you may be thinking are burdening our nation, the biggest attribute by far is the SGR. Now, before I get into the analysis of this, if you're new to this channel, consider hitting the subscribe and push bell notification buttons for crazy analysis like this every single weekday. The story of the SGR can be taken back to 2014 when a $3.6 billion loan, which is about $500 billion shillings, making it 6.25% of our entire debt, was taken out to fund this project. A railway that would take goods all the way from Mombasa to Kenya within hours, making it one of the most revolutionary infrastructure projects to ever face the continent of Africa, and actually making it Kenya's biggest infrastructure project since 1963 when we gained independence. The SGR project was done with no statistical or economical data, and it was a project that ran in loss of billions of shillings, and we're talking about 20 to 25 billion shillings per annum. In order to rectify the situation, what does the government do? They make it illegal for any private entities to use their means of transport, and they have to use the SGR in order to force profitability. That still did not work. So hundreds of people were put out of jobs, and tens of companies were made bankrupt because, think about it, they invested into the lorries and trucks for their transport, but now all that capital was left idle. So because of government inefficiency, the taxpayers have to pay the burden. You would think the nightmare is over with all this. A project that took billions out of our treasury and has put hundreds out of jobs. No. Because the project is in a loss-making position, we defaulted in a loan to the Chinese that we took out for this project. This resulted us just this week being slapped with a $1.3 billion fine, which is 157,365,000,000 Kenyan shillings. Now, the cost of servicing this debt is poised to jump by a third to a record of 1.39 trillion shillings in the fiscal year through June 2023. This is more than half of the projected state revenue, which means when you pay your taxes, you think it's going to go to building a new school, a new hospital, a new road, or something else to develop our country. No. Half of that money is going back to finance this flop of a project, the biggest infrastructure project, which is completely a flop. Now, who is to be blamed for this entire scenario we're in? One man and one man alone, ex-president Mr. Uhuru Kenyatta. Now, sir, you went to an international university paying thousands of shillings that some of our people cannot even afford for their food. And you went and studied economics. And like, this is just complete absurdity. That's why I'm getting lost for words, because any basic economics theory suggests, or business planning suggests, if you're going to finance a project, you have to do some planning to ensure that the amount of money you earn is enough to pay all expenses, including the loan, and leave money for profit, and that way we can develop the country. But during your time in presidency, you did the exact opposite. During your administration, Kenya's debt increased more than fourfold to 8.58 trillion shillings. And you know the worst part of all this is, you weren't doing to help us get out of the situation you put us in. You were spending 4 million a day on public meetings, and we know where all that money went to building your city in Northlands. You outrightly looted the economy and have put us in a situation where this one single project, the highlight of your entire career, is possibly going to cripple our economy. Wherever you are, Mr. Kenyatta, right now, enjoying your holidays in whichever county you're in, in, you should be held accountable for the situation you've put us all in. As the statistics show, you alone have increased our economic situation completely drastically, and I'm just fascinated how you are allowed to run for 2 terms, not 1, 2 terms, doing all this. Like, as Kenyans, we should just be, we are just thick for allowing you to stay for as long as you did. Now, the only hope we can have is that Ruto's party steps in and tries to do some damage control. He already made it such that we have free market economics in the way that it's not compulsory to use the SGR and we can travel with our own. But given where this loan is at and where things are at the moment, I seriously have no idea how things could play out. For you to find out, just hit that subscribe and push bell notification buttons and leave a comment down below what you think. But as a Kenyan, the statistics show the situation is very, very worrying. Before we can worry about Hustlers Nation and all this new change, this situation must be fixed. Will it fixed? I don't know. Stay tuned to my channel to find out. As usual, peace.